Hello pals, it is Strawberry Witch here, and today I am going to be making my graveyard in my island. So for those of you who don't know anything about my island, I am creating a pastel horror themed island, and I'm going to be working on my graveyard today, which is this little section behind the town hall. Now you may be asking, what does a pastel horror island entail? Well, my goal with my island is to deceive people. I want them to come to it and think that it's a fairy core island or just a pastel cutesy island, whatever they may want to believe, with just elements of horror. Elements of horror that build. I want it to be an experience. So when they first walk in my gates, they're like, wow, this is so pretty, that they don't notice the little pentagram that I put at the front entrance, or they see it but they don't really think much about it. They're like, oh, that's weird, like maybe it's a mistake. And then as they go through the island, it just slowly gets more and more obvious that the blood stains and the skulls and this witchy craft type things are done on purpose. So there will be parts of my islands that are dedicated to witchcraft. I would like to point out here, as a witch myself, that witchcraft is not used to harm or hurt people. It's a practice, and each person chooses how they want to use it. So just as a general rule, witchcraft isn't used to be evil. It's not evil. Just wanted to put that out there because I am going to be using witchcraft in my island, not to be evil, but to give an eerie kind of feeling. Because witchcraft is mysterious to a lot of people. They don't understand it. And thus, therefore, that sense of unknown, that sense of not knowing, of creepiness, I will use to my advantage to make my island appear more eerie. So that's the plan for this island. I have, as you saw, worked on my front entrance, and then in the center there's going to be a haunted carnival, and I want there to be a haunted doll area, a haunted campsite area. I want Meringue, who you just saw walking around, that I just recently got. I want her to be the witch from Hansel and Gretel, who, leads the kids to her house, by offering candy. I also want to have a haunted kids playground. Very morbid, I know, but that's the point. And I want to have a plant shop, like a witchy little plant shop. So that's kind of my goal right now. As you can see, I've placed down the Western style tombstones. I decorated one with moss to kind of make it look like it's been there for a while. And I'm putting some bloodstains down. I'm trying to put them down in such a way that you cannot see them right away. Like, that's why I put them behind the trees or up next to the town hall. You have to tilt your camera to see them. So if you're just on the normal camera focus, you will maybe see a glimpse of them. You have to turn your camera. Like I said, I want this to be an experience. So between the blood spatters, I'm putting cutesy little designs of stones and flowers and whatnot. These were all found online, mostly through Pinterest. So Pinterest is a really great place if you're looking for custom designs. But let me tell you my story about these freaking, what are they called? Dead trees. They are the bane of my existence because they take up such a large amount of grid space. And I'm not sure why. Like, the trees themselves take out less grid space. These trees are so huge for no reason. And it was extremely frustrating. You'll see me move these trees and situate them so many times because I just never like the way they look, because I can never put anything close to them to make it look cramped and the aesthetic that I want. So it was super frustrating working with these trees. Absolutely hated it. Nintendo, please fix it. Thank you. Anyways, but I wanted to use the dead trees to give it a graveyard look. That was the whole point. So very frustrated with that. You can go to Cyrus and change the color of the throwback skull radio. And so I changed it to this, it's called Ash. Oh my god, it's so creepy and I absolutely love it. And I love it because in the graveyard I'm going to be playing, I know you can't hear it, but I'm going to be playing KK Lullaby. And you may think, Strawberry, why are you using KK Lullaby? Have you ever listened to KK Lullaby? First of all, any lullaby, any music box is creepy. But if you continue to you listen, there's this part for like maybe not even a second where it sounds really distorted. And yes, I am using all of that for those 1 seconds. So that's why I'm using it. So when you're walking through the graveyard, you'll hear KK Lullaby. But I also wanted to put the Throwback Skull radio kind of in a hidden place. Once again, you have to move your camera to see it because it's got those bright, shining red eyes, which look so mysterious and so scary. Do y'all hear my cat screaming? He's upset. Don't know why. Please ignore him. Please ignore the car in the background. I can't help it that I live in a high traffic area. Please forgive me. But anyways, to continue forward, all those trees are right there. Was supposed to be to separate the graveyard from the park. So if you're in the park, you can't see the morbidness next to you. So that's why I had all those trees there, but ultimately I needed them for my graveyard, so I had to dip into my funds. So I'll have to go back and grow some more trees there. But they weren't situated anyway, so it was fine. They weren't where I wanted them to be. So here's me once again trying to work with the dead trees to my hardest. And oh, I forgot to mention, I put that skull behind the tombstone. And once again, it's one of those things that you kind of have to angle the camera properly. That's why I made the mossy tombstone and the mossy skeleton the same color. So it would be a lot harder to spot, if that makes sense. And you'll continuously see me walk and just stand through this area because I'm trying to make sure that none of the blood stains and the skeletons are extremely obvious. And that clap was because I was happy because it was finally starting to look the way I wanted it to. So I have these bloodstained lanterns. Thank God that you can put custom designs on these lanterns. So I placed a couple of them around, and I put the doll here originally for a creepy effect, like, why is this doll sitting in this graveyard? But I found something better that I use later. So you'll see that. And here's me adjusting the skeleton, trying to see which way it looks the best, like with the head down, with the head up. I decided the head up because you can kind of see it peeking out right there, you know? And I also put up some candles. I should have done this build at night because when I do my dream address, it will be in the middle of the night. So my island is going to be littered with candles once I get enough, because the candles that I want, like the wedding candles and the mom's candle sets, are very hard to get a hold of. I will have to do lots of time traveling to get those. So eventually, when I have all the candles that I want, I am going to litter my island in candles to give it that creepy atmosphere once again. I also borrowed this well. I was going to use it somewhere else, but I decided that it was better suited for the graveyard to give it a ring feeling, you know? I recently watched The Ring, so I really wanted to utilize the well in some way. So I'm very excited about that. And here are the candle sets. When I cut away, I just went to go build some stuff and customize some stuff. You know how it is, because I can't be sure if I'm satisfied with something before I, set it down and look at how it mixes with everything else. And see, I'm still trying to incorporate pastel elements into this this graveyard. And that's what's so difficult about this theme that I'm doing, is that how do you combine the gothic with the pastel and not make it look forced and not make it look cheesy? So that's something I'm really struggling with right now. But alas, I hope I can pull it off. So I put this vine lamp here for more lighting. And then, as you can see, I placed the mom's plushie because those eyes, don't tell me that those eyes are not soulless. And I started planting some flowers. I wanted a black and red and a white color scheme. And I also realized throughout this that I only have one pair of black cosmos. So I really want to get more because I think those black cosmos are perfect for this eerie graveyard. So yeah, I really enjoyed making this. It was a little frustrating, to be honest, but decorating in Animal Crossing always is frustrating unless you're playing Happy Home Paradise. And I honestly, truly wish they would allow us to decorate our islands in the way that they do Happy Home Paradise in our house, but I can honestly say with certainty that I feel like they never will. It's like if it would just be too big of an update, as if like they reformed like how we search, for villagers like Nook Miles, or if they reformed how terraforming is, even though it's terrible and we can't see the grid. They're not going to do it. It would be too big of a. It would be too big of a patch, and they said no more. They said no more huge content updates. And I did accidentally pull the leaves off of my pansies. Please do not speak of it. I was extremely frustrated when that happened, but they are flowers and they will grow back. So I'm just trying to put the final touches on the graveyard, make sure everything is in its place, make sure there's enough designs, and make sure everything is exactly how I want it to look. So that's why I'm walking through it. And I am very happy with it. Woohoo! So thank you so much for watching. Be gay, do good. Bye!